Here it is, the Hitway BK29M electric bike. It comes in at under $1,000, and I feel like this is one of the most affordable moped style e-bikes that I've seen. It comes in at only $820, but with that lower price tag, it does have a few drawbacks, but it also has some pretty sweet features to it as well. So I want to review it, share my thoughts about this to hopefully give you an idea if this is something you should get or not. So let's do it. Starting off, the appearance of this e-bike looks pretty sweet. I honestly love these moped style bikes. I feel like they look kind of retro and they're just fun to ride in my opinion. I love the large headlight that it gives you. This actually does a great job at illuminating the road in front of you as well. So it comes with front headlight, comes with a tail light on this thing that actually shines brighter when you squeeze the brakes, so it signals to people that you're stopping. So I really like that. The seat is cool. It's a nice little banana seat. It really is only sized for one person. You maybe could squeeze two riders on it, but it would be very snug, and it just doesn't seem like it's set up for that based on the size of this e-bike. I feel like it's comfortable to sit all the way to the back of it, so there really isn't much room for another person. And the weight capacity of this e-bike is only 264 pounds, so if you have two heavier people on here, you would exceed the weight capacity. It actually has a little bit of squish to it, and you can see that it has suspension underneath it. However, that suspension is kind of stiff in my opinion. It does absorb a little bit of the bumps, but it is a little bit stiff. So maybe if you're heavier than I am, you might be able to feel it compressing a little bit more, but it also has front suspension as well. So the ride is pretty smooth when you're actually sitting on it. And if you're standing on it, you can definitely feel the bounce in the bike as well. So you can definitely glide over the bumps. I also think that the 20-inch by 4-inch fat tires help to smooth out any of the stones that you go over top of as well, or cracks. So these seem to hold up good. The one thing I would say is the tires on this look like more affordable tires. I have other e-bikes as well that have a little bit thicker, more durable looking tires on it. This doesn't look like that in my opinion, but they still get the job done, and I didn't have an issue with them. I haven't popped a tire yet, so I have nothing to complain about. The fenders on this are pretty decent, but they only have one point of contact, so they definitely feel flimsy on here. If they had two other points of contact holding it to the frame, I bet it would feel way more secure, but right now they just kind of bounce around. Same with the front one, they're just kind of loosely there, so I feel like they could secure to the bike a little bit better. Taking a look at the handlebars, they look pretty nice. They kind of remind me of a BMX style handlebar. And then the grip pads on this are also decent. They have little pads that stick out to give you more surface area on your palms. And then on the right-handed side, it has a little twist throttle. On your left-handed side, it has your control panel to increase your pedal assist higher or lower, and you can toggle through different metrics on your screen, which the screen looks nice. It has all your typical metrics, and it's easy to see in the bright sunlight. The brakes on this e-bike are just average in my opinion. They're mechanical brakes, and I prefer hydraulic brakes better. But then also, they just slowly stop the e-bike, especially if you just squeeze the right brake. But if you squeeze both of them, then they bring you to a swifter stop. But I've tested out other e-bikes that are more expensive, and the braking feels a little bit better on those compared to this. Still gets the job done though. This e-bike has a 7-speed Shimano shifter right here, but I hardly even touch it because I don't even pedal this bike. I find it way more comfortable just to throttle around. And it's not this bike in particular, it's actually any moped style bike. I just find them to be way more comfortable when you're throttling. When you go to pedal, I just feel like you're maybe sitting a little too low, the seat's a little too wide. It just feels unnatural to pedal these style bikes. You're definitely more than capable of pedaling them, but I find myself just throttling wherever I go. So that's just how I ride them. So I really don't care much about the shifter on it because I throttle everywhere. Now, when you throttle everywhere, you don't get quite as long of a range. So I feel like I was around like the 25-mile range on one charge if I'm just throttling around. They advertise a higher range than that, but that's probably based on your weight, size, what kind of conditions you're riding in, how much you're throttling. So I throttle all the time, so that's probably why I had a little bit less mileage compared to what they advertise. The motor on this thing is still nice though for being an affordable e-bike. This is a 750 watt motor and it peaks out at 1,000 watts. So I feel like this had plenty of power to get me up hills and take me where I needed to go. So I feel like the motor held up good on this. Taking this e-bike out was a lot of fun. I felt like it's more of a condensed size, so it felt super easy to manage and maneuver when I was actually riding it. I could pop the tire up, I could kind of slide the back out if I wanted to. it was just easy to have fun on this thing. And it has a top speed of 20 miles an hour. Most other e-bikes can go up to 28 miles an hour if you're pedaling, but since you don't pedal this bike, it's fine that it just goes 20 miles an hour. I felt like it was more than enough speed for me. And it actually only has 3 different pedal assist levels, so there isn't a whole lot of variance with how fast you're going. You're either going like 9 miles an hour, 15 miles an hour, or 20 miles an hour. Those were like my speed ranges. So overall, I feel like this is a pretty solid e-bike for $820. This is like one of the cheapest moped style bikes that I've come across, and it's still a blast riding it. I've had no issues with it so far, and it's been holding up great. It does have a little bit of room for improvements. Obviously, the brakes could be better, the tires, the fenders could be improved a little bit, maybe the suspension underneath the seat, but honestly, there are e-bikes that are like double the price of this that don't even have suspension. They're just like a hardtail, so the fact that it at least includes it is a step up, even above the more expensive e-bikes that you'll find. So I feel like for the price, this is honestly a fun e-bike, so check it out if you want to. I'll put a link in the description below, and thanks for watching. Have a good day.